can see a countdown.
Yeah, it says go live. We're live.
Hi everyone, Kim here with Art Classes for Kids, and I'm here with Lily. And I want to welcome you to our live stream art class. If you haven't joined us before, this is our third one. I actually was only going to do this while my classes were out on Mondays and Tuesdays, but since I got this overwhelming response from you guys wanting it every day, we are doing it every Monday through Friday at 4 o'clock. So thanks for your comments on our Instagram. You've emailed me, you've texted me, you've all been so supportive, and I love it, okay? Now, let's talk about art. Okay, so today what we're gonna do is we're gonna make an illustration. It's like a line illustration. It's a lot of lines, a little bit of coloring, and it's a landscape. So today's project is inspired by the artist named Art Hansen. And this is an example of one of our students who's completed the project. And this is an example of the real art by Art Hansen. This picture, or this image of his, is an etching, and it is called Hillside Farm. And let me tell you a little bit about him as we get started. Or I will tell you a little more when we're just coloring and have lots of time to talk. So to get started, I want to make sure you have all the supplies you need. So you need some colored pencils. We love these, our Prismacolors. They are the best, but any colored pencil is going to work, okay? We need some masking tape. And we need, what do we need, Lily?
We need a fine point Sharpie and a regular Sharpie. But if you don't have a fine tip Sharpie, it's fine. You can do the whole project in your regular Sharpie.
Or if you have a marker, a set of markers that has a black one in it, that'll work too. And then finally, you need some paper. Now, I'm recommending the tan paper because it gives it the look of Art Hansen illustration. So if you have some tan paper like this, you know, that's what you're going to use. If you don't have tan paper, well, I've got a great way for you to get some tan paper quick and also for you to recycle at the same time. So I'm going to give a little plug to my grocery store, Trader Joe's. You just take one of these bags, you pull off the handles like this and just throw those somewhere, right? And then you take the bottom, you're gonna cut off this bottom square of your bag. So get some scissors and just cut that off if you can. Cut right near the edge. And then go open it up, and now it's easier to cut. If you're pretty young, you might need some parent help on cutting out the bag. But I've opened it up like this, and I'll go ahead and move these out of the way for a second. Okay. And then after I cut my last part, throw the bottom away. Now I have the bottom off the bag. Now it's just kind of like that, right? Okay, what you're going to do is cut it open. Sometimes I look for a seam in it, and I don't even see one, so I'm just going to go to one of the folds and open it up, and now I've got this big piece of tan paper. Once you get this, just take the biggest section right here. It's like a front or back, and you're just going to cut it on the fold line. Throw in scraps. Go to another one. Whoops, we dropped one of our pictures. And now I'm left with one rectangle. If it's kind of a little scrappy on one side, go ahead and clean it up. And then you're good to go, and you got some tan paper. So that's what I did. And then I took the blue tape and went around the edges. So let me demonstrate how to do the blue tape. Now, you don't have to have the blue masking tape, but I like it because it's not as sticky as the tan one and it comes off easier. So use whatever you have, and you go and you pull a long piece. You line it up with the edge of your paper, and then you rub it down. You can either rip it with your fingers or you can cut it with scissors, okay, at the corners. So I'm going to do that on all four edges, and this makes my finished work look pretty clean. And if I decide to get it framed, There might be a mat later or something, and this will go right under it, but you'll see the majority of the image of your art. Okay, so we've got that. And then you would have your prepared paper and you're ready to go. So let's see if you guys are ready. And if you don't have any masking tape at all, you can still make this drawing, but we're just telling you how we love to do it at Art Classes for Kids, because in the end, we're a little bit into presentation. So we love everything to look even as polished as we can when it's done. So I'm going to take this one. Lily's going to take the tan paper that we just happen to have around here, and we're going to learn how to draw this landscape. Now, here on this side, go ahead and pick those up each, Lily. These are a few more examples of his art. He did a lot of work around this red barn. And yeah, there you go. And Art Hansen was from the northwest of the United States, near Washington State. And this was the kind of stuff he saw around him. And this is the kind of stuff he illustrated. But he had been illustrating for a long time. And he actually only recently passed away in the last year. And he was 87 years old when he passed away. And he had been illustrating pretty much his entire career. So go ahead and sit those back over there. Hopefully now you've got your paper ready and we can get started. Okay, I'm going to do mine standing up while she does hers on the table, okay? So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna grab the regular size Sharpie. It's the biggest of the two black pens. And we're gonna start by drawing the trees. So somewhere in the bottom, what I want you to do is make a group of lines. It could be anywhere. Watch what I do. I'm gonna draw a group of lines in the shape of a smile, and they go like this. Looks like a miniature fence. Just like that. So go ahead and put that somewhere towards the bottom. Has maybe 20 lines in it or something. That is going to be the bottom of our tree trunk. And we're going to have 2 tree trunks. Now pick another place that's not near there. If I have this closer to the right, I'm going to do one closer to the left. I'm going to make another one. Okay, hopefully you've gotten both of those. Now we're ready to build our trees. So the first tree is going to be the tree that is most in front of everything else that's within our image. And there's going to be a front tree, a tree behind it, then there's going to be a house, and there's going to be like a mountain. So we've got 4 elements, and the one that's closest to you is what we're drawing now, which is the tree in the foreground, okay? So what I'm gonna do is take that last little line that I drew and go up at an angle to the top of my paper. Now I'm gonna go to the other side of that group of lines, and I'm gonna go up to the top of my paper. Maybe I want it a little narrower. Maybe I'm gonna make a dot that I may need to. And then I'm going to go all the way up to it. All righty, you got 1 tree. We're gonna work on this tree for just a little bit before we go to the next one. Okay, so this one, we're gonna add a branch, and our branch is gonna be 2 little lines coming out of the left side. Now we're going to take the bottom line of those 2 lines, and we're going to go up and to the left. And then we're going to take the top of those 2 lines and follow it the same direction, keeping it pretty close to parallel. You know what that is, when 2 lines are going the same direction and don't touch. Next, we're going to go to the other side, and we're going to make 2 lines, and maybe these 2 are going to be a little closer. These two aren't going to the right. These are going to go up to the top part of the picture, top to the top tape, let's say. So you're going to go up and up. Alrighty, great. So we've got to start on our tree. Now we're going to have a branch that crosses in front. So this one, we're going to make a little knot in our tree somewhere. And we're going to have a skinny branch come through. And I'm going to put two skinny lines there. It looks like antennas on top of a bug or something. And then those two are going to cross in front of the trunk and come up like that. Now I'm going to let you make a couple of really small branches coming from the left branch and the right branch. So pick where you want them to go and give it two branches, two skinny lines here, and then maybe two over here. You decide where you want those branches to be. But you want them to reach up. They make sort of like a Y shape. Maybe you can have one, this is a little more of an advanced move, but you can have it a little knot in here and then do another one coming out from the front of the branch. And now, that looks great. Okay, so next what we're going to do is we're going to do our other tree trunks. So those group of little dash lines, those are going to be the next tree, but you're never going to cross over the front tree. You're always going to stop when you hit an object. So let me show you how that works. What you're going to do is you're going to go to the far right of the far right dash of this group, and you're going to make a tree trunk that comes up, but you don't want to cross in front of the other tree, so you got to stop and start again once you've passed it, and start again once you've passed that. So that's my tree trunk. Okay, I had a little bloop there, didn't I? Oh well, that's perfect. Nice. Okay, so the thing in the foreground doesn't get crossed over, right? Then you're going to go to the left dash and go back up. You're aiming to the top of your paper, and you're just going like this. You're bringing it a little closer than it started, and you're stopping. You got to go all the way to that tape, okay? So go ahead and finish that other side if you haven't already done so, because you might have been one step ahead of me because maybe you just figured it out, right? Okay, so you got that. And now we're going to add a few branches to that trunk. So you've got this trunk here. I'm going to do a low branch over here too. Goes off to the... Alrighty. And then I'm going to the other side of that trunk, my second tree. And now this is tricky. I've got a lot of things to cross, but I'm going to be able to do it like through here, and then maybe this comes out here. So see this branch right here? I'll use the bottom of my pen. It starts here and it stops and it starts again and comes all the way up. You're looking good. So far, so good. Looks good, Lily. Keep it going. You got that last line. Okay, great. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to add some of those super skinny branches, which were these ones. So now go ahead and add, if you have some branches, look, are just like a double solid line. Like I might have a little knot here and have this come out. Was that a yawn I just detected? Okay, so I don't know if she's alone, but many of you that are staying home from school now, are you up a lot later? Are you sleeping in? I bet you are. Okay. So you can add that. So I want you to add at least, 3 or 4 of these really skinny branches that are dark and solid. So maybe this one's here and here. Maybe I've got one coming off here. Some of these are old ones that are kind of bent. Okay. Looks great. Okay, now I think we're ready to add some of these knots. Those are little dark circular spots where there either used to be a branch that grew or a mark on the tree. So those, what you're gonna do is you're gonna put them all over. Maybe you've got like, I would say 5 to 6 of these on each tree. They could be right here on the edge. It almost looks like little polka dots. If you make them an oval, make the oval look like it's laying sideways. That looks good. Oh, so another fun fact about Art Hansen is that he was a book illustrator. That means he made the illustrations that went with many stories and books, and he used this style of his line drawings. And when he was 22 years old, which is a long time ago, because he just passed away this year at 87, he won a Pulitzer Prize for his illustration in books. So he was really highly regarded as a great book illustrator. So now what we're going to do is each one of these knots is going to have 2 little white lines on the side, or black lines on the side. So it's where on the tree, if I'll zoom it in here of the Art Hansen, right here where those dots are, it's kind of like it gets a little split in it, and it creates a dark line on each side of the dot. So go ahead and add those dark lines. And it looks a little bit like that. There you go. Trying to get close now. Okay, I think we're doing great. Okay, now we're going to move on from the trees, which was kind of the hardest part. Okay, now we're going to create what we call the horizon line. The horizon line is kind of where the earth meets the sky. Okay, where the grass ends or the hill ends. So I want that to be somewhere in the top half of your picture. It can be perfectly straight, or you can have a slight hill. Don't have it up too high because you want to still have room for a house, okay? So I'm going to start mine here and just go across. Then I got to, remember, I always have to stop when I hit a tree. I don't want to cross over a tree because the hill is actually behind the trees. So I'm going to go like that. You can make yours any way you want, but like I said, you want it in the middle to top half, and you want to make sure you have enough room for the house or barn or whatever type of building you want to have. Okay, so you got that. Now we're going to start the building. Okay, you got to decide how big your building is going to be, and we're going to start with part of a rectangle. This might be the toughest part, so go ahead and keep your eyes and ears towards us. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take any big space you have above that horizon line, and you're going to make the corner of a building, which means you're going to go up and you're going to go across until you bump into something. See? So make sure you go up and across. Okay, once you've done that, you're going to decide how far you're going to go across for your building. I'm going to go up. Mine wasn't perfectly straight, but I don't think it matters because it's a roof on it. But if you want to straighten it out, you can always add another line and then make this be the trim of your roof or something. But what you want to do is you want to have that keep coming across Only in the negative space. What's negative space? It's space that doesn't have a tree, doesn't have anything else in it behind it. So I'm gonna go there, and then I think I'm gonna pretend like my building ends behind this big trunk. If you want to show the end of your building, you can do it like Lily did it. Whoops. You can do it like this. You see where she showed each top corner of the building? Okay. So once you do that, you're going to add the roof. You can have any kind of roof you want. So I'm going to have a roof that sticks out farther than my building and comes up and goes across. And then I'm going to keep going across. I'm going to keep going across in the spaces between the tree branches. But remember, don't jump on top of the tree branches. So you're trying to figure out where you want your roof? And how high you want your roof? Okay, and really take your time when you go in between the branches to make sure you don't jump on top of the branches. And take it all the way down. You can go past the corner of your house if your roof wants to hang over. Yeah, like that. Alrighty, so we've got all that. Now, does your house or your barn want to have any windows? Mine does. So I'm going to put a square here. I'm going to put a square here that goes behind the tree. So you see my two windows? Once you've made the shape of the two windows, now what you want to do is color it in solid black. So I'm going to take these two windows and fill them in black.
Can you have as many windows as you want?
Sure. Yeah, I knew that one. Okay. And you can have as many windows as you want because you are the architect of your building. Okay. So you've got that. Okay, we're looking good. So for those of you at home, if you've gotten your windows done, your building done, now we only have one more element to our entire composition before we go for detail. And the next element is the hill. There's going to be a hill. We were on a hill, but then we're going to have another little hill behind the house that we only see peeking out of the sides. So over here, maybe I'm going to have my hill be this area right in here. See, my back hill's going to be here. So I just made a line across. Then I can go all the way across once I pass my house. Anywhere that's space in between branches is where I'm going to put the rest of that hill. And my hill's going to go down. You got it. Now, if you're really advanced, you could have two hills behind it, but you don't have to do it. If you want two hills, that just means there's another hill behind it right in here, so that when you color it in with your colored pencils, you can have two different color hills. On his, he has like light green and dark green. So it's up to you. And on this side, I'm going to have a little bit of that back hill right in there. Once you've got that, we're ready to add the details, the texture. So I'm done with my Sharpie for a while. Unless this is the only pen you have, and you can still do this. If this is your only other pen, then maybe at the end, if you want the other ones to look thicker, you could double it. So what we're going to do is take our fine point, if you have one, and we're going to start with the trees. So the trees, you can, we're going to keep it simpler than Art Hansen because he had a zillion lines. We could be here for hours. But what we're going to do is we're going to make texture on our tree trunks. What we're going to do is we're going to start at the bottom, and we're going to draw around those little knots and come up. And then we're going to do it again and keep doing that over and over. And you can go around the little knots if you want. And you're going to keep doing this until you have a ton of skinny lines that are filling up your tree trunk. Make sure you go all the way to the edge of the shape. Maybe you want to go around some of those knots. That's up to you. And on this side, so pretty soon it looks kind of like bark. So that is my first trunk right there. Those are the lines of my first trunk. Okay. Looking good. So take your time. If you have extra time while you're waiting, then put a line in between a line and you'll have a totally detailed picture. We're going to give you a little more time on this so everybody's caught up. Unlike our YouTube videos, we can't pause these because they're live. But I know you're keeping up with this because I got a ton of pictures from the last 2 days and your projects turned out awesome. So I know you're with me. I know you can handle these projects. The other thing is, if you haven't been to our YouTube channel before this week, you should check out our edited videos because they've got all kinds of fun little tidbits and pictures that pop out and words and definitions and terminology and crazy sounds in the background, and they're really fun. So check those out too when you have time. When you can't be here right at 4 o'clock, but you want to make some art, go to our YouTube channel. Pick out one of our other videos. And don't forget to like it. Okay, once you get one trunk done, go to the other. Okay, while we're drawing these, ooh. Now, I don't know how many of you are at home just doing this on your own in the kitchen or whatever, but if your parents are around, let them know, and hopefully they hear me, that we have a little survey on our YouTube channel because we're new at this. We're just starting to live stream this week. We want to know more of what you're into and what you would like to see. So we would love if your parents would take the survey and let us know what the age of the kids that are making art on our, by watching our videos is, what kind of things you would love to make, what artists you want to learn more about, and also, what kind of supplies you already have. So we know which projects we should do a lot of because most kids, for example, might have watercolors at home or might have markers, might have modeling clay. So if we know what you have, it's going to be a little easier for us to know what kind of projects to plan for next week. A lot of stores are closed right now, and shipping on Amazon is tough because everybody wants to get their stuff shipped. So that's why we need to plan a little bit ahead. Now, after you get your 2 trunks done, go ahead and find the biggest of your branches and put lines in those too. And actually, some of my branches, my big one, I'm going to add a few of those little knots in. Okay, and then I'm going to do all the lines around here. And remember, go all the way out to the edge of the paper, right where the tape starts. So far, getting all those super fine lines in. Okay, I think I've got almost all my branches. This is how mine's looking close up. Okay, on my fancy Trader Joe bag, okay? Wow, Lily, yours is so neat. You're going to have to hold that up and show them. Now, everyone's going to have their own style. Everybody's just going to look a little different, but it's all inspired by the same artist and his work of art, you know, the Hillside Farm. So, wow, that looks awesome. I wish I could see yours and just reach out and grab it, but I'll check it out when you send me a picture. So hopefully you're going to be sending me photos of yours. If you want to know where to send them, either post them on Instagram and tag them with @ArtClassesForKids, or you can email me your picture to kim@artclassesforkids.com. That was great, Lily. Can I do a couple of skinny branches?
Did you say to only do the big branches?
You can do those skinny ones too. So make sure any branch that has space in it, give it some skinny lines. Oh, yours looks great. So while we're waiting, be thinking of the colors you want to use. If you want to have a red barn, a red house, or if you want to have a purple house, or whatever colors, start thinking creatively about what you'd like to do. I was just getting like a vision of Bob Ross. He did this a long time ago. And now we are all following in his footsteps, right? So this one, I'll do this one if you want to do that one. Is that one? You got a good pen. Yours is juicier than mine. Oh, hold it straight up. Yeah, there you go. I don't know if Sharpies shake. Like a ballpoint pen. Okay, we're almost there. We're almost there. Okay, looks good. Now we're about ready to do the next thing. So the next thing we're going to do is on the building, which is your house or barn or whatever you want to call this building, I want you to add vertical skinny lines all over it. So all you're going to do is start at the top of your building and go straight down and fill that whole house. And when you get to a window, you can just cross right through the window because the window's black, you know, so you don't have to stop and start on that because it's solid. Let me do some of these closer. So. So kind of like that. And since I have a little more time while you guys are finishing your lines, I'm going to add some more. But you see my house still goes through over to here. So I'm going to need to do some vertical lines right here in that space between the branches. So I'm going to go right here and do some vertical lines. Then I'm going to go back and I'm going to add more lines to give you guys a little more time. All righty. Looking good. Now we're ready to do the roof. Now the roof, we're going to make it look a little more like a thatched roof, you know, with like a bunch of little lines and rows. So let me show you how to do that. You're going to start at the top and you're just going to make little rows, kind of like you did when you started on the bottom. And since there's so many, I'm going to give you a choice of using the fine pen or the normal pen, the normal size, regular, popular Sharpie. So I'm going to go ahead and go with my regular popular size Sharpie.
I'm going to do that too.
Which actually, they call this fine point. They call this ultra fine point. To be technical, because, you know, I should probably get that right. Okay, let's see. So now I'm just doing rows of dashes on to make my roof texture. There we go. Also, you know what I was thinking, you guys? If, you know, we do these live streams, We also have a regular YouTube. We also post on Pinterest. Pinterest is cool because we have 60-second videos that just show me making a project pretty fast because we speed it up. So those are fun to watch really quick. The other thing is we teach private lessons. And you know what? That's how I started this business 30 years ago. I went to people's homes and just taught them how to draw, how to paint, all the fun stuff. And then it turned into what it is now. But I still teach private lessons. And now the school's out and everybody's at home, I'm actually doing FaceTime private lessons. So if anybody wants a one-on-one where I talk to you through the TV, and I also can help, I can see what you're doing at the same time, those are also available. And Abby,
There's a link in the description.
There's a link in the description. So if you want to do a private lesson ever, you just go to that link and it'll tell you how to sign up for a private one-on-one where we can talk to each other while we're making art. Okay. So now we've got that. Now I had a trim on mine, which I'm going to add a design to. I'm just going to add some lines to it. Okay. And now I think we're just about ready. Okay. So next, we have one last thing. All of this area down here is like a field of grass. So what we're going to do is take the ultra fine point, if you have one, and just make lots of little dashes all in the, you can see it here. This is one that used a normal, regular fine Sharpie. And now I'm going to show you what it looks like if you'd like to try it with the ultra fine. You just put dashes, vertical dashes all over the ground. See? And then that's going to look like grass. And after this, we're ready to color. So you want a bunch of those. Okay, how am I doing? Got to reach it over here. Oh, yours looks good though, because you got that really good fine marker, ultra fine. You can even go off the bottom edge of your tape if you want, off the side, but just don't go past the top of your area. Looks like that. Woo! Okay. Okay, so that could take a little time. Alrighty. So while you're doing that, or if you're done, you're just waiting so patiently, go ahead and pick out the colors that you would like to use for all the different parts. So I think I'm going to have, I think I am going to have a red house, but I'm going to have kind of a red-orange house. So I've got that color in mind. I'm going to have, I'll do a medium green because I really want my little lines because mine are so fine to show up. So I'm going to use a lighter green. I'm going to use this. And then, oh gosh, make sure you have a sharpener nearby in case you need to sharpen your pencil because coloring a big area, you might need to sharpen it a few times. No. Okay, we are getting our own sharpener. Okay, and then you need 2 colors for the mountains. Okay, so the mountains, I'm going to do my hills. I'm going to do one of them purple because that's fun. Like Purple Mountains Majesty, right? I'm going to do purple and I'm going to do this color, which is like a magenta. That's going to be my mountains. But you can have them green. You can have them, yellow, brown, whatever color you want. righty. How's it going, Lily? Is your hand hurting from all those lines? Oh my gosh, shake it out. Open, close, open, close. You know what's really cool is that we can see ourselves while we live stream. And it's not exactly the same. I go like this and it goes like this. Did you notice that?
No.
Okay. So go ahead, you're almost there. You're almost there. I know you guys are almost done making your 2,642 dashes on the bottom, right? Or you started out with them really close together, and then as you were going, they started getting farther and farther apart. Alrighty. See how we're doing. Looks good. Alrighty, now we are ready to color. So the first thing I want you to color is the grass area at the bottom. Now, let's start easy, right? So you're just going to start here, and this is actually when you want to stay in the lines, okay? So if you want to stay in the lines, you're going to need to go
Oh, and also, if you want to test your color to see if it's the right color you want, you can do it on the back and test your color.
Abby, are you looking for a pencil sharpener?
Yeah, Dad, help me find it.
Oh, it's on the counter in the art studio.
Okay.
And it's in the corner, like on the bottom bookcase. It's
I see it now.
Because it's live TV. Okay. So we're getting it colored. See, that's the beginning of my coloring. And it's perfect timing because all my lead is used up, so. Perfect. Now we can cruise through.
Mommy, you should just do it like me, where I just go on like when I trip my thing and I just
You can do it that way too. Everybody's got their
Make it
style
faster.
and everybody's got their method of coloring in. But the only thing I want to make sure you definitely do is I definitely want to make sure that you color all the way to the edges of the areas that you're trying to color in. Okay, so here we go. So at home, I know we have all different styles of artists in my classes. Some kids are done really quick, and some kids want a lot more time to do a lot more detail. So I know we're all finishing at different points. Just be patient when we give you a little more time. Maybe get a drink of water in between or whatever is so relaxing when you're at home. It's so weird to have my kids at home and be at home during the day now. It's easy to get lazy. It's easy to stay in the pajamas half the day. Now we know how homeschoolers feel, right?
Oh, I didn't get sharpened that much.
Oh, broke. Okay. Okay, try
cool.
that.
Thanks.
All right, so I finally got my bottom done. And what I love about drawing on this brown paper bag with these Prismacolor drawing pencils is that these colors really pop off of this brown, even more than a plain piece of white paper. But if you did it on a piece of white paper, that's okay, because it's still gonna look great. It just gets this kind of cool glow to it on the paper bag. And you know what, that's another thing. I really want to do some cool recycling projects. So I'm going to try to pick a recycling project for next week. And then today or tomorrow, we'll try to organize today what we're going to have for our 5 projects for next week. So we can tell you way ahead of time so you can gather those supplies. And one of them, I hope to be a recycling project. Okay, so I've done my grass area, and since I'm giving you a little more time, I'm just looking for little spots that I might not have colored so evenly, and those spots I'm filling in. Okay, you're just about there, right? So next,
Oh, could you show me my pencil one more time?
last time, because you only have a little bit left. Okay, there you go. All right, so next what we're going to do is we're going to do the house. I'm choosing red. I'm not sure what color you're choosing, but I'm sure it's a cool color, like a bright color. So go ahead and figure out where that house is. My house goes all the way through here and down. You got to make sure you get those little spots in between the branches where your house might show through. And then just like that. Okay. So I kind of do a little inlining is what I call this. I line the inside of my shape and then I fill it in really fast. Everybody has their own style of coloring it. You just kind of do whatever you do.
For my barn, I chose this burgundy color.
Cool.
And matched my shirt.
Yeah? You're having a burgundy day. So I've got my house colored in. You're doing that burgundy. You don't have to go super hard. It's up to you. And then what I'm going to do is pick a color for my roof. Now in Art Hansen's, he has a really dark gray color. You can pick any color you want. You know what? Maybe I will do my roof purple and I'll do my mountains magenta and some other color. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start my roof. See? And then that's all I have for my roof. About that much purple. So now all I have left on mine now, ooh, you know what? Lily is having like the total like hand cramp because she's fully into coloring really dark. So like I said, everybody's different. So go ahead and just try to fill it in as best as you can. Yeah, just relax that hand. Okay, looks good. And next I have 2 hills. You might just have 1, but choose the color that you think would be best for your hills. So I thought burgundy was a good color. So I'm gonna do.
Wait, that's magenta.
Or magenta. I like this one. Whatever color it is, kind of a magenta burgundy. So I'm gonna start doing my hills in here. Okay, there's one. And then we're going to go to this side. Now, this side, my hill's really big.
color for my rooftop.
Ooh, well, pick a color.
I'm going to do this branch.
Okay. So now I've done my first hill. And all I have left now is my second hill. And I'm thinking I'm going to do my back hill. Okay, I'm going to do a brownish color. I'm doing this color right here.
And I turned my painting upside down so I can reach it better.
Oh, I like that idea. Alrighty. We're getting there. That's how mine looks so far. Now, if there's anything else you'd like to add, if you want to make your trees look lighter, like kind of like aspen trees or something, you could do this. This is an option. I'm going to show it on mine, but Lily, just leave yours this way so I can see the differences. You can take white and you can do white on top of your trees because white shows up on this tan paper. Now, my last fun fact about the artist Art Hansen, who inspired this work of art, is that he was a printmaker. So a printmaker is somebody who makes art by making multiples of the same thing through a printmaking process. He did lithographs, but mostly etchings. That's where he got like a silver plate and he scratched into it this drawing. Then when you put ink on top of that plate and rub it off everywhere except where it got in the grooves that he scratched into, and then you put paper on it in a roller, you will get the image on it. And then you can do it over and over and have that same image over and over. Take a sip. Okay.
Now my hill.
Now you got your hills?
Yeah. No, my hill.
Okay, your hill. Pick one.
Um,
Yeah, that's good. That's a great color. Okay, we are about finished. I wonder how close you guys are to your masterpiece being completely colored. You don't have to color the sky unless you really want to. I like a little bit of brown paper to still show, but that's all up to you guys. Ooh, knock that one over. Wow, that's looking good, Lily. And this is how it looks. I'll zoom it in so you can see. I'm going to leave my sky brown, but if you want to color yours blue or any other color, go right ahead. Okay, and I'm going to sharpen this pencil. Now, once you think that you are pretty much done coloring, then if you want to take this tape off and reveal the final finished masterpiece, I'm going to show you how to take it off very carefully because the paper is very fragile. So what you're going to do is you're going to find the tape that's on top, and when you peel it, instead of ripping it straight up, try to rip it out to the side. Okay, and go really slow. Like this. Okay, and then you'll have these little streamers. Okay, and then go to the next side. and then you're gonna go to the next side and you're gonna go like this. And the right side. And the top. Do you want a little help, Lily?
No.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, be really careful. Look at it going here. That way. Okay, now you got that one? You don't have much fingernails to pick it with. Ready? I'll help you. Do you want to help?
No.
Alrighty. Now for the big reveal. Ready? And ta-da! Peek through, Lily. There you go. So, I hope yours turned out a little bit like this and you made it your own. And I want to thank you for watching and joining us, and also tell you that, I mentioned before, we are going to be doing this every day of the weekdays, Monday through Friday at 4:00. Tomorrow we'll tell you all about the upcoming week's projects. We'll try to be a little more organized. And we also have something new we've added in our descriptions, Abby?
Yes, in the description.
Okay.
There's a link.
There's a link to something called Ko-fi. And if you are enjoying these, and if you want to help support us keeping these free and keeping them on, we would love it and appreciate it. And want to thank you for joining us. What do you want to tell them, Lily?
Like and subscribe to our channel.
And keep making cool art. Okay, I was